Evening, everybody. Welcome back. It's Ben, and today I'm joined by Jamie and Chris. And well, it's been a hot moment since we've done one of these videos. Well, if I say videos, I actually requires us actually filming any video or one of these sort of podcasts. Is it as it were? Or
Podcast
just sort of like...
slash, yeah, it's a podcast. It's not a podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, video content in the not too distant future.
Well, depending on obviously the lockdown situation and things like that. But yeah, joined by Chris and Jamie here, and wanted to just touch on a topic that's sort of like well, I want to say come to I don't want to say come to light because that's not quite right. Made stuff more prevalent in the last couple of days. But before we're going to go into that, let's quickly touch on the last two pieces of 40k news that's come out last week or so, and there's not been a lot at all. I mean, the only thing we're really going to touch on here news-wise is the two sort of new 40k models that they showed off. One last Monday and one literally today, obviously the 5th that we're recording on. Well, the first one was the new Sister of Battle, was it the Dogmata? The Dogmata?
That's what it's called, yeah. The Dogmata.
Wow, what a swing and a miss. Like I say, opinions, your opinion, but oof, what a swing and a miss this was. I said, I think we said it best when we were just when we were hanging out, not hanging out, when we were chatting. Was it last weekend when there was the weekend after this model was released, or it was a couple of days after this model was released? It was like, it looks like something they would have done 10 to 15 years ago. With that sort of static pose, holding that, fucking mace or rod or whatever it is.
Face that's got me concerned.
It doesn't look good, does it?
I'm not sure what's going on there.
I don't know. It's just like... Is she...
tweet or something?
It's like she's doing like a blue steel or a magnum or something. Like from Zoolander. And I just... It's just like... It's a big swing and a miss as far as the model goes. It's like a really horrible old static pose, and like making a pouty face with the face. To be fair, the helmeted version of it ain't much better. I mean, wow. Well, what? No, just what a swing and a miss. But on coming back around to good again today, we've got more orcs. Everyone loves orcs, and we got. The last preview, we had a little image of the Beast Snaggers, which is like a new culture of orcs or subclan of orcs that they're trying to mingle in with the regular range. Basically, the crackers with these dudes is they work a lot with squigs. Squigs of various sizes and shapes. They ride them, they kick them, they throw them, they strap guns to them, all sorts. So we've seen another one released for these squig mount things, and yeah, looks really good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of where they're going with this particular line of orc. I think this is kind of, actually thinking about it, it's probably more in line with how I always imagined orcs to be anyway, just a bit more barbaric. So yeah, I quite like what they've done with these.
Mate, he's got a rocket-propelled spear.
I was just trying to work out what that did. It's got a button on it, hasn't it?
I'm guessing... Well, you never know with orc stuff, but I'm guessing if you hit that button, then all the rockets come on, so you could like throw the spear and it'd be right rocket propelled.
That's cool.
It is. It is really cool, and God, whoever did the artwork on this particular model's done a really good job of having the tattoos on. Chris didn't notice them, but I saw these like on both the orc and the Gretchen behind them. They've got like little tattoos on their arms.
Oh yeah. Didn't even notice, and somebody's probably spent 3 hours doing that.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, more goodness coming our way. If we looked at the previous sort of video we mentioned on the last preview, they did that cave painting thing, and they showed like a big war boss and some larger sort of squig based models on the way. So that'll be interesting to see when they do come out. But anyway, on to the main meal of this video, and well. Recently, most people have been paying attention to, obviously, any Warhammer-related news. We've got a new Warhammer Quest, Cursed City. I think the pre-orders went up this weekend. And now, I just want to put my stall out. I had no dog in this race. I wasn't interested in the Cursed City. I mean, models are nice enough, but wasn't going to buy it. Wasn't thinking of buying it at all. I know you two showed an interest in it, particularly.
I was thinking about buying it until I realised you got that many models with it.
Yeah, I was quite curious by it. That sort of style game tends to lend itself more to fantasy, or I tend to be more interested in that sort of fantasy style. So yeah, I was curious, and well, not right now. So it wasn't like I was, put out or anything at the weekend when the inevitable happened.
Well, tell us about that, Chris, because that's really that's really what kicked off, obviously, us talking about this in the first place. So, tell us what happened.
I think I just remember checking my phone at maybe about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning and seeing the email come through for Cursed City and pre-order it now. I think it was about 10:30. I'm not sure what time pre-orders go up, actually kick in the morning.
I think it's like
9 a.m., 10 o'clock, or
Usually
something like
10
that.
o'clock, yeah.
I remember clicking on the link, looking at it, and thinking, "Oh wow, that looks really good." So, but straight away, sort of seeing the price, I think I clicked on the collector's edition first, and I was a little bit surprised by the price. First off, I mean, granted, I didn't know there was how many models? 50 something models in it.
50 or 60 in there, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't quite realise there was that many in there, but I was a little bit surprised by the price, in truth. But what really surprised me is when I clicked on it and I thought, oh, well, okay, let's have a look at this in a bit more detail and have a look at the other one. No longer available online. Oh, right, okay, but it's only 10:30. Let's click on the other. No longer available online. Okay, but there's no Primaris Lieutenant in this, so how come it's sold out within 30 minutes? I don't quite understand this. So yeah, that's kind of what prompted the conversation with you, Ben, afterwards. I was just kind of blown away by how rapidly this had sold out. I didn't think this game was that, just
would be
that sought after. Yeah, in demand. Sorry, I couldn't find the words. That in demand. I didn't realise the community was that desperate for it and that keen for it. It does look really good, by the way. I'm not saying trying to take anything away from it. It looks amazing, and given time, I will probably look to get it myself. But I knew as soon as I saw it was sold out online. I knew what was going to be the case or what was going to happen, and then you guys saw it.
Me being the cynical sausage that I am, Chris, when you obviously said that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to check eBay. And obviously, humanity did not disappoint me. On there, right now, you can order Warhammer Quest: The Cursed City. You could pre-order it on eBay. How much was the box set on the GW website?
So you can buy the normal version, which is £125, or you can buy the collector's edition, which is £143.
Well, for the normal version, you could pay £170. Nope, not cheap. Too cheap for you. What about £199.99?
I just like the phrase you can pre-order it on eBay.
Yeah, you can pre-order on eBay. These people haven't got it, Jamie. They're selling you the pre-orders. They're selling you the dream, man. They're selling you the dream.
All they're probably doing is just changing the delivery address of the item for next week if you pre-order it on there. So
we once again land fucking arse down in the quagmire of scalpers, and here we are. Here we go.
Scalpers.
Here we go again. Now, listen. Like I said, not asked about Cursed City at all. So I was thinking about this, and I'm wagering that I know I will probably have a varying degree of opinion on all this, because I think all three of us share the same opinion. Scalping bit bad. It's bad. It's not consumer friendly at all. But that being said, with this, I've noticed on eBay people are selling a lot of the models individually. So they haven't got the box set, so they're raffling off sort of individual models from the box set. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that, because some people might just go, you know what, that particular skeleton lord, or whatever his name is, that skeleton guard captain, he'd look really good in my undead army for Age of Sigmar, or what it is, your death army. So I don't have a problem with people buying the box set just to break it down and sell off all the individual parts. I don't really have a problem with that. But it got me thinking, where do you draw the line here? When is this an issue? Like, when is scalping? When can we officially say, right, that's not on, but this is okay? Because I know you've had like negative experience with scalpers with regards to Dominus, didn't you, Jay?
Oh yeah, I tried to get it at 10 o'clock and wasn't able to get myself one at the start. So I logged on at the very time it went on sale, and I still wasn't able to get one. So that's where I'd draw the line.
Yeah, but with Indominus, that was meant to be like a limited edition release of brand new miniatures for 40k. That was going to have far more pull than the Cursed City had, where it's going to have. Like, far.
Yeah, it was a one-off.
Yeah, because it was a one-off. So obviously, when that happened, the scalpers obviously jacked up the prices to a ridiculous amount. Obviously, we all know how that story ended. Basically, for the scalpers, GW just turned around, we're going to make this thing made to order, which kind of like kicked the bottom out of like the market for scalpers, because people were just like, oh, just made my made to order. Of course, I bet some people did fall victim to it. I'd imagine one or two people, oh, fuck, I can't get this box set anymore, so I'm going to have to buy it off these fucking individuals. But I'd like to think we sort of have like a happy ending to that particular story. But it doesn't stop the fact that with obviously the lockdown, people not being going into stores, that GW doing these like online releases, that this is going to be like an ongoing problem. And they are jacking up the prices, not in like an extravagant amount. I mean, well, apart from the one person asking 200 quid for the regular box set, I think that's taking a large amount of piss. Oh, plus £4.20 postage. Sorry. It's like, I use eBay to sell some of my stuff, secondhand stuff that I don't use. But a lot of these individuals are using programs, like you said, like you've mentioned before, Jamie, to buy up a load of them just so they can sell them, which is obviously
buy them quicker than anyone else can humanly do it.
I mean, nowhere has this been more prevalently shown than obviously with the issues with the PlayStations, because I think that's highlighted this particular issue more than anything in that sort of like the mainstream.
Yeah, it's becoming quite a big issue across a number of fronts, isn't it? The PS5's just been the biggest recent one that we've heard about.
I think they also have a lot of fucking nerve to be calling themselves entrepreneurs.
I was thinking just the exact same thing as you said that. Yeah, it boils my blood, and I'm sure it boils a lot of other people's blood as well. They can call themselves whatever they want. I know what I want to call them, but I won't say it on here.
Their argument is that they're just saying it's commerce and we're just doing what everyone else does at the end of the day. But I gave you an analogy earlier on, didn't I, Ben? It's like you walking into a shop and like reaching out your hand to buy something, and then a little cheeky goblin turns up and chucks all of it in his basket and buggers off. And it's like you try a different store and the same thing happens again. So you can't get it anywhere except the cheeky little goblin store.
Yeah, it's like it's not them being entrepreneurial about it. It's them being very opportunistic about it. Basically, they are adding an extra step in the process of acquiring these items. So rather than the step it should be, you go to GW's website, you press the order button, then you get the product. They are basically putting an extra step. Oh, you want this product? Then you have to buy it off us because we've taken it all off GW. It's like this kind of thing is 100% targeting people that, because with Cursed City as the example, we know that GW will make all these boxes, except for like the limited edition ones, because obviously they are limited edition. But for people who want to have this particular box set, want to play this game, but don't want to wait. It's like the FOMO thing, the fear of missing out. These scalpers are taking advantage of people's what's the words I want to use? Like they're people who are potentially not as savvy with their money, or people who maybe have impulse control, who can't sit back
or
and say
lack of it.
Yeah, a lack of impulse control. People who younger, maybe people who it doesn't necessarily you don't have to be younger for it. You could be old and have like a lack of impulse control. But it's the kind of thing that I bet a load of those people, like the second they reach out and have to get this box set off these scalpers, it's gonna be like, oh, instant buyer's remorse, instant, because you're feeding the problem because they're just going to keep doing it. Now, the issue. Not really the issue. It's like I don't think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. I don't think it's feasible for a person to make a living just targeting like one particular brand or one particular product on eBay and just obviously taking all of it and trying to scalp the money off it. I don't think it's feasible. What I think these people are. I think they probably have a large portfolio of items which they buy in bulk and then try and resell, and that's how they earn their money. So I'm not having a go at the people who are just like hobbyists who just like, right, I don't mind spending 140 quid to buy the box set, even though I want that one model because I'm going to sell the rest of it off after. This isn't really aimed at them because they're literally trying to just sell the items they no longer require. And I'm not too fussed about the people who are breaking down the box as well, who bought it just to break down and sell them all individually, because I think they are satisfying a demand in the community that they don't want the Cursed City box set, they just want the model.
Well,
which is also
there may be an element or a proportion of people who may be looking to do that, but again, I'm very skeptical of that particular angle because they've already broken it down before they've even received the item, and they're breaking it down with all its individual components. So they've done it again to try and make it probably so it looks like it's less from appearances anyway. It's taking the piss less, but they're still going to be making a profit. You just won't notice it the same. Also, with this being a self-contained game, that kind of attitude still, or that kind of policy still kind of pees me off a little bit. It'd be similar, I guess. I can see your point from it because it'd be like Blackstone Fortress. There might be certain models in that, be it some of the Chaos guys when they first came out, or any of the other things that you think, oh, actually, I could do a really nice conversion with that. I really want that. So I only want to buy that item on its own. And I have purchased items on eBay which have come out of, self-contained boxes that you could only buy, you can't buy online anymore, and I wanted just individual certain models from it, so I'm guilty of also supporting it, but I don't agree with it.
Well, the way I reason out in my head is because obviously this is all opinion. Is if GW were selling these models individually and they were all scalped and then resold, and that's not on, but they're not. GW are only selling these models in this box set at the moment. So when these people take the box set and break down the models to sell individually, I don't mind so much because you're paying what people think the model's worth, because we don't know how much these models are worth individually because we've got no baseline for it because GW aren't selling these models individually. So there's nothing to compare it against. Whereas the box set, GW are selling it for A, whereas these scalpers are buying it at A in bulk and then selling it at an inflated price of B. So we know where the baseline is. We know how much they're taking the piss. And my reasoning is that if I didn't want to buy Cursed City, but I did want one of the models on it, I have no problem going on eBay and buying it off the people who have broken down the box set. Where my issue is, and I think where a lot of other people's issue is when they are deliberately depriving the community at point of sale. They go in with probably automated bots, buy loads, just to jack up the price and then resell it to the community. Because the only people that lose out there is the community. And
well, you could also look at it from this point of view, though, Ben, and this can apply to Kill Team. It depends how popular that particular game is, but Blitzball, whatever it is, not Blitzball. What's the Blood Bowl?
I'll say that's Final Fantasy X, isn't it?
Yeah, Blood Bowl. But any of those self-contained games, yeah, you could argue, right, it's not really so much of an issue if you buy it and you break it down and sell the individual components, because people want to buy those individual components for the wider game, for the other games, right? But the problem is, if that person is bulk buying everything and stopping the vast majority of the fan base and the consumer base from actually getting their hands on the full game because of it as a whole, and if they want the whole game, they've got to pay all of the money for every single individual model, and you're probably going to be paying more again than what the actual thing's worth from GW's store, then that is unfair. It wouldn't be so bad if it was just 1 or 2 orders which people were doing, but when it's vast amounts of the stock that are going out to set, like getting sold out, and going to these people who are then hiding behind this, oh well, we're breaking it down so people can buy the individual parts. It's still taking the piss.
Well, I think this is my main problem with it. It's like scalping itself isn't illegal, and you're not going to stop it. It's been around forever. It's the fact that now they've got technology, which means they don't have to play by the same rules as me and you. That's the problem I have with it.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. I mean, even if you have, like, I know some people are saying, well, like 1 per customer, there is programs out there, I'm sure, that can circumvent that just by slightly changing your details, or changing it so all items are dropped off at a certain like a PO box somewhere. There are ways around it, and make no mistake, I don't think we don't have the figures, right, of how, let's say, like, out of like a big pie chart, how much of the Cursed City went to scalpers and how much of it went to people who just want to buy Cursed City to play Cursed City. I think I'm confident in saying that the majority still went to people who actually want the game rather than people who are just interested in reselling it. Can't be 100% sure because I don't have the figures, and GW obviously aren't going to release the sales figures, and we can't ever. I don't suppose we could ever really find that kind of thing out. But
I mean, you'd like to think, though, if you really wanted something, you'd make a point of getting up early, getting on the website, and you'd like to think you've got a reasonable shot at getting something. But these days, you can't even guarantee that.
No, and I think the environment of the lockdown and people not being able to go into stores, I think that has really, really affected it as well. Because obviously, if you wanted it, you couldn't get it online. Loads would be shipped to stores, or stores have a certain quota, so you could probably just wait outside the shop until it opens, then go in the old school way. But I don't think the community is making enough noise about this for GW to have it on their radar. It may be, but I don't think they care about it enough now, because obviously Indominus was a good, like, test for it. Basically, it came out, gone like that, because it was obviously mega popular, and then GW were like, "Oh, we didn't anticipate it being that popular," which I think is a fucking crap excuse anyway. Come on, you didn't think Indominus, the new edition of Warhammer 40k with brand new Space Marines and brand new Necrons, you didn't think it'd be as popular as it was? Come on, mate. Come on, you're not convincing anybody. But they rectified that with a made to order, which I think is pro-consumer, maybe slightly after the fact, but that is pro-consumer. And I think if GW was really serious about maybe tackling these particular issues and benefiting the community as a whole, then they would also do a made to order sort of scenario, or at least wave and declare or announce where they're going to obviously do release in waves. You'll be able to get your first lot of this one, and if you don't get it, you can get it here at this date, and then here at this date, or then whatever. Obviously, people can use the reasoning of supply lines and things like that because of obviously what's going on in the world right now. Personally, I find that argument less and less easy to swallow, because I work in the transport industry myself, and people right now have if they've not adapted completely to COVID, then they're almost there. well, I think right now the majority of like businesses are in a position where they can work with COVID or work around it. So I don't find the excuse of, oh, they haven't got the resources and COVID stopping them from doing this. I find that less and less hard to swallow. So maybe if they did set up like a made to order sort of system for this, maybe it would set them back in production and maybe lead times. But I think on the whole, it would be better for the community.
Yeah, I don't think it's normally that feasible to do something like that, because you wouldn't be able to plan in a manufacturing run unless you've got a certain amount of orders. Otherwise, it wouldn't be cost neutral.
I fully appreciate that. I ain't no business scientist. I ain't no money man. I don't know the ins and outs of like the full production line of GW and the lead times.
It's not something they'd want to do, I don't think.
No.
I don't know how feasible that sort of thing is. You guys would have a better idea than me. I can't see why there would be a major issue with it, but I think that's the solution to stopping scalping, is basically you make it so it is a made-to-order system, and that you have a certain time limit upon it going on sale, or like upon pre-orders coming available, to actually place your order to acquire that item.
But I made this point earlier on. From GW's point of view, it's not really their problem, is it? They're making models to sell models, and they're selling all of them. Well, so why should they go out of their way to solve the problem?
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm curious to know if it does bother them a little bit, because they're losing out on money. They're having people make additional money on top of their sales. I know they're still selling it for what they originally did, but people are unmorally sort of purchasing these things, adding additional profit on top of it, and this is retail price as well. So it's not like it's going through a distributor and then going to a supplier and then it's working out like what that should be. You know, you have your retail price. If it's coming directly from the manufacturer, that should be the price. The people buying up all the stock and then putting on extra is it's just taking an absolute piss. And I don't care what someone's argument for it is. It's wrong. I don't agree with it at all.
Listen, mate, people have got to earn a crust. They've got to put food on the table and all that kind of stuff. When they gloat about how much money they're making off the back of this thing, I have an issue with that. And them calling themselves entrepreneurs, I have an issue with that, because they ain't. Call a spade a spade. You're a scalper. That's it. You're making money by doing the dirty on somebody, in my eyes. But there is potentially another way to fix this problem, but it's like you've got two communities online. Because if GW wanted to, they could make it so that you could only sell their products, because I know a lot of particular brands on eBay, particularly like fashion brands, they make it that you've got to be a registered seller to be able to sell their products. Otherwise, eBay will just turn you off. Oh, say no, it's fraud. It's counterfeit. So they'll just they will target you listings like that, or look for keywords. A lot like an algorithm, I think it is, and they'll turn. If I'm right in my thinking, they will turn the listing off or put a red flag against your account. So if GW made it so like only GW and GW affiliates could sell GW products, then that would also stop the scalping problem.
No, that's never going to happen, mate, because that's going to kill any sort of market or any opportunity for people to sell on models that they don't want anymore, and also to sell on spare parts or anything like that, which the community relies on. I get what you're saying, but the scalping issue is different to that, and I don't think it can be controlled on eBay by using that kind of policy.
We're only using eBay as an example here. I'm 100% sure this goes on in other markets besides eBay. I'm 100% sure that eBay may just be like, the place people go to go, ooh, look at this bad example of the naughty man doing the naughty thing. But I am 100% sure that there are other markets out there where people are trying to flog this stuff or hike the price up and then flog it. It makes sense that they are trying to sell the products as many markets as possible. But it's difficult. It's a difficult problem. And like Jamie said, without some kind of magic bullet, I don't think the issue is going to go away. I think what GW should do is probably come out with a statement every time this kind of thing raises its head and just like, listen, just be patient, wait, and then buy from us or reputable stores. Maybe just PR mouth speak. They may not mean it. It may just be nothing at all. But at least they'd have been shown to like we know it's a problem. We can't do anything about it, or we can't feasibly do anything about it without changing the entire way our manufacturing process works. But please, guys, have a bit of patience. I think that would go a long way in my eyes, because little things like that do count, even if they are just blowing smoke up our asses and just saying, yeah, don't do it, even if they don't mean it. I think it would earn them brownie points more than anything with me. And I think as a community, we've got to point out examples of this and just go, listen, guys, you may want Curse City, or what was the other one as well? Piety Pain, that the Sisters versus Dark Eldar, the Jakari box set. That was on for some ridiculous money on some eBay listings I saw, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's just 2 new models. It's like they're not even Space Marines. Who cares? But I'd say to people who are looking at this thinking, should I, shouldn't I? Don't. Just don't. These people make their money targeting and harnessing the fear of missing out, and people thinking that they have no other recourse. This isn't a limited edition box set. The Cursed City will go back on GW web stores, or the third party stores, your local store. They'll be back. Just patience, I suppose, is what I'm saying. Just practice a little bit of patience. If you've got the money and money's no object to you, then fill your boots, I suppose. But I think it's a bad precedent to be setting where you're saying, meh, I'm fine paying 200 quid for something that's like, what, 120 quid. Anyone else? I think that's where I particularly stand on the subject.
In terms of a solution to the problem, I think people using these bots might be shooting themselves in the foot. I know it sort of came to a head a bit with the PS5 situation. The more they gob off and gloat about it, the more attention it gets. And I've already heard rumblings about legislation being brought in to ban automated programs like this. Which would go some way towards helping the problem. They wouldn't kill it entirely, because people would still do it.
Yeah. But it's a step in the right direction, I suppose, with that kind of thing. I mean, like I say, if people are talking about legislating it, then they know it's a problem. So,
like loot boxes in video games, they're not illegal, but they're definitely not consumer friendly, and that made all sorts of noise, didn't it?
Oh yeah, they're definitely not gambling, guys. Honest, fingers crossed. Yeah, of course, mate. Whatever. Yeah, but that's a completely different rant for another time. But yeah, let us know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Would you? Please don't say you are, but would you be tempted by these prices on eBay? What your thoughts on it? Let us know. But until then, me, Chris, and Jamie will speak to you guys next time. See you later.
See ya.
Wow.